You make me happy, whether you know it or not. We should be happy, that's what I said from the start. I am so happy, knowing you are the one that I want for the rest of my days. For the rest of my days, you're all of my days. You're looking so cool, you're looking so fly. I can't deny that when I'm staring you down and dead in the eye. I wanna try to be the person you want, the person you need. It's hard to conceive that somebody like you could be with someone like me. I'm happy knowing that you are mine. The grass is greener on the other side. The more I think, the more I wish that we could lay here for hours and just reminisce. Ooh, you're looking so fresh, it's catching my eye. Why did I not see this before? The girl I adore was right in front of me. And now I'll take a step back and look in your eye and ask why it took so long to see we're meant to be. I'm happy knowing that you are mine. The grass is greener on the other side. The more I think, the more I wish that we could lay here for hours and just reminisce on the good, the bad, the ugly, the smiles, the laughs, the funny, all the things we put each other through. It's for you, for you, for you. You make me happy, whether you know it or not. We should be happy, that's what I said from the start. I am so happy, knowing you are the one that I want for the rest of my days. For the rest of my days. I'm happy knowing that you are mine. The grass is greener on the other side. The more I think, the more I wish that we could lay here for hours and just reminisce. Ooh.
This is the first day of my life. Swear I was born right in the doorway. I went out in the rain, suddenly everything changed. They're spreading blankets on the beach. Yours is the first face that I saw. I think I was blind before I met you. And I don't know where I am, I don't know where I've been, but I know where I want to go. And so I thought I'd let you know. Yeah, these things take forever, I especially am slow. But I realized that I need you, and I wondered if I could come home. Remember the time you drove all night just to meet me in the morning? And I thought it was strange, you said everything changed. You felt as if you just woke up.
'Cause after all this time, I'm still into you.
Well, I think I probably noticed you first, so because you came over in third grade
Yes.
from St. Paul to West Point Public, and
He was not on my radar at that point.
no, I noticed her in fourth grade in class, and she was pretty talkative and outgoing, and I was not. We had a learning academy, which was when
It was like a little gifted program, basically.
yeah, about 6 of us. So like, if we had good grades, we could go do fun stuff for a day. So we went like a whole year of that before I even talked to her. And then I think it was like last quarter, we had that one day, and we were supposed to write stories. And I was impressed because I noticed that she had like 40 pages of some ridiculous story. I'd like, wow, I have like 16. I thought that was a lot.
I should be
Well, I'd say our first date was actually a football game in 7th grade. And we got together with a bunch of friends, and we didn't do a whole lot. We just kind of talked a little bit, right?
Yeah, we didn't get out of the house much at that age, so that's what we could get away with.
Yeah. So I think I hugged you. I think that might have happened. Well, that was a big moment for me.
I don't really remember that, but that's okay.
Yeah, I know.
Sophomore year, we started talking, and we had communicated a lot through like texting and like passing notes and that sort of thing. It wasn't very official yet.
So then I think the first time we ever talked to each other was because we both were sick, and we were gone for like almost an entire week of class because we gave each other.
we both got influenza B that year.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, so
we accused each other of getting each other sick.
I was like, you got me sick.
Yeah.
It was your fault.
Yeah, we'll never agree on that. I think you got me sick.
And so your favorite song, we sang along to the start of forever.
But then the first time he legitimately asked me out, if you don't count the junior high relationship, because I don't think most people do, would have been on May 16th of 2009.
Yeah, and then eventually we hung out and played Guitar Hero in May. And then we dated shortly after that. I was like, so do you want to have a thing? And that was like my dorky way of saying we should go out. I think that's the only thing I could formulate. The only words I could formulate at the time. Yeah, it did. It did, didn't it?
So good night, moon, and good night, you. When you're all that I think about, all that I dream about. How'd I ever breathe without?
We had been dating for a year, so then we drove to Omaha, which I think that was the first time we had ever came to Omaha together, maybe.
Probably.
Since it was our first year anniversary, I got her a ring. It wasn't like a promise ring or anything, but I picked it out myself.
A promise ring.
Yeah, it basically was. Yeah. But I didn't want to say that, I think, because it's like, I didn't want to be like, nerdy or anything. Yeah, so I think that was a big moment.
Yeah, that was definitely the best present I had ever received at that point. And I think I showed it to my parents. I think they were impressed too, because my mom was like, are those diamonds? Like, what are you kids doing?
Yeah, it is. I used like a lot of my detasseling money, because I was like the only job I had at that point. And
resources were limited.
Yeah, so it was a big deal.
A good night kiss from good night you, the kind of hope they all talk about, the kind of feeling we sing about.
One of the first times she had gone out with my parents and I was like for my sister's birthday. We went to Kobe Steakhouse, and they have like the really flashy performance and stuff, and Johanna had never been there either, right?
Yeah, and it was the first time that I had gone anywhere with his parents. Like, I think that was one of the first times that I had like talk to both of your parents.
Yeah, I know, because they're so intimidating.
What?
I know. Yeah, I know. Anybody's parents would be, I guess.
Yeah.
And so there's a part in the meal where there's like they leave off the shrimp to the side.
Long story short, he took me to a restaurant with his parents where they make you catch shrimp in your mouth.
Yeah.
That was horrifying.
But she caught the shrimp, so it was totally fine. My parents
the food was really
impressed.
good, so.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah, that was probably like.
That was pretty memorable.
Yeah, that was kind of a little bit embarrassing for you, I guess.
So good night to you, and good night moon, when you're all that I think about, all that I dream about. How'd I ever breathe without?
I proposed to Johanna in Portland. At the Multnomah Falls, and it was over spring break, so it was this huge surprise in the first place. I told her we were going to take a road trip to Denver, just to get out of the state and do something fun. We're gonna drop our dogs off at my mom's house, and when we got there, I started loading stuff into her car. I was like, yep, we're going to the airport. So we went to the airport, and she doubted me the whole time. She was like, you've never been on a plane before.
He did not.
You don't know how to go through.
I was like, we need to get our stuff through not customs, but like we need to get our boarding passes and do this and this and this. And he's like,
They'll be fine.
He's like, it's fine, it's fine. And then of course his luggage gets x-rayed at the airport.
They just choose my one suitcase that had the ring in it.
So I'm like, I'm gonna walk over this way for a little while.
So she was a little suspicious, I think, at that point. And then the guy who was x-raying, he was like, oh, hope she didn't see anything. Sorry about that. And that was the very beginning of the trip.
Sitting up bedrooms and read aloud like a passage from good night.
But I wanted to propose on top of the Benson Bridge, right? Is what it's called?
I think so.
Pretty sure it's the Benson Bridge on Multnomah Falls. But I'm kind of still afraid of heights. I was really afraid of heights at first. So, and I was trying to think of the right thing to say. So I was like reciting that in my head as we were like trudging up this mountain.
He tries to plan secrets really well, and he does a very good job, but let's just say we were like hiking up kind of like a cliff, mountainous terrain while he's wearing the nicest dress shoes he owns. So that was kind of a tip off.
And then so I pulled her aside and had someone like take a picture of us, but instead they were recording it. So I can't even remember what I said.
And then I forgot to say yes.
Yeah.
And then he's like, because I nodded, I was like, well, yeah, duh.
So I was like, yes.
And then he's like, yes. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not technically say yes.
Yeah, I could barely
like
breathe. I didn't know if it was because I was
minute.
excited or if it because I was going to pass out because I was like so high up there.
Then there you were, I saw my Juliet come graceful down the stairs. It's hard to mess the way her eyes light up the room.
Well, Johanna's very intelligent. She's very educated. I think that's what attracted me to her right away was she read so much. She was just so naturally smart that I could talk to her about anything, and she seems knowledgeable to some extent about every topic, and she's really open-minded. She's not critical of any kind of lifestyle or topic that might be talked about. And I think it just makes it so easy to hold a conversation, to just enjoy that person's company. Johanna's really accepting of anything that I do. Like I have interests that she does not share at all. Like I love football and professional wrestling and video games, but she does not care about any of that. She might not be interested at all, but she at least makes an effort to understand why I like it so much.
Just feel her lips lock onto every breath I take and breathe it.
If I had one word to describe Johanna, it'd be either intelligent again or forward-thinking. I feel like whenever I'm stressed out or really getting bogged down in the stuff I'm undertaking, she's really supportive, and she really always keeps in her mind like what we want to achieve down the road. She's always thinking about the next step, and she's always really excited for it.
'Cause I feel us falling. Good night, you. When you're all that I think about.
I think one of the things that I really respect about him is that he's always been really ambitious. He has lots of goals at any point in time. They might change over the course of time, but he's always been very hardworking, and he's never really afraid of criticism or what other people are going to say, and I think that has been really helpful for me. Before we moved in with each other, everybody always tries to hammer that point. They're like, oh, everything changes when you move in together. That's when you really find out who somebody is, and it's so much more difficult. And Aaron and I have been living together for 3 years now, not just alone, but also with numerous roommates in numerous awful apartments. And I have to say that he has been the easiest roommate that I've had to deal with. So I think that definitely is very reassuring.
All that I dream about, how'd I ever breathe without?
If I could choose one word to describe Aaron, it would be creative. He's always been really focused on what he wants to do, and right now that is creative writing, but it was definitely one of the first things that we ever talked about and bonded over was reading and writing.
Good night kiss from good night you, the kind of hope they all talk about. The kind of
He has a lot of special quirks, I think. Probably one of them that I can think of is that he eats French fries. Anytime we get French fries, he eats them with honey. I don't get it. He stays up really, really late, and he plays video games, so I always have to make him put his headphones on so I don't have to listen to it.
And there you were, not so much Julia, come graceful down the stairs.
She's really clumsy, so that kind of creates like some comedy throughout our day-to-day life. She runs into things a lot, so she ends up with like bruises all over, and it's like, what did you do to yourself this time? And this something I learned about her from like when we were still in high school, I can't understand, is that she hates spoons, just does not like them. I feel like if she could, she would eat cereal or soup with a spoon or with a fork. I don't know why. I don't know. So that's something that's really strange. Maybe I'll find out one day. We just really fit well together, not having just dated so at such a young age, but we knew each other so young, and we really kind of grew up together. And I think our goals in life and the paths we wanted to take really kind of formed as we were growing up and just like creating this relationship together.
I think it's really cool that for as long as we have been together, we are still finding new things to talk about and learning new things about each other. I think that is mind-blowing. I guess right now our biggest thing that we're ready to do is just looking forward to getting graduated and seeing where our careers take us next. I'm really excited to see what ends up with Aaron going to grad school, and I think that'll be a journey in and of itself.
Find a place that we can kind of create our own identity and start our own life. And I think that's kind of part of it, is finding somewhere. I think we'll always belong in Nebraska. I feel like Nebraska's home for sure. It's where we grew up. But there's so much of even the U.S. and then like so much of the world that we haven't seen yet. So vacations,
Someday living somewhere that isn't Nebraska, I think will be an adventure as well.
Yeah.
There's a million little goals that I don't know how serious we're about, but they're fun to think about.
Yeah, I don't know if a day goes by where we think about what dog we'll eventually get next. As our one dog is not even one yet, so then we just name them immediately, or I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna get a chow someday and name it Chowder.
That's not gonna happen.
So
that one's off the table.
Yeah, that's a typical conversation. Veto. Nope.